Hello, my name is Ashton Cooper, and this will be my lesson plan. So the learning objective will be to identify a fear a student has, and then writing at least 2 or 3 sentences about what scares them and how they can overcome it. After reading the book, Fly Guy versus the Fly Swatter. The materials needed will be the book that I'm going to do a read aloud on, writing and drawing paper worksheet, which is this right here, and then crayons, markers, or colored pencils to do the drawing, and then pencils to do normal writing, and then visual examples that'll show up on the board. So first, to start it all up, I'll introduce the book Fly Guy versus the Fly Swatter, and then ask a starter question. What are some things that make you feel scared? I'll let all the students raise their hand, and I'll write some examples on the board, like fear of the dark, fear of water, fear of spiders, fear of fire. And after a bit of that, I'll transition back to the book, and we'll talk about what Fly Guy fears, the main character of this book, and then I'll do a read aloud of the book. After I read through the whole book, I'll do a transition to the worksheet. The transition will be kind of like this. After fully reading the Fly Guy versus the Fly Swatter, I'm going to ask the question of exactly what was Fly Guy scared of during the book, and why was he scared? And then how can Fly Guy face something so scary to him, but then still get through it, still overcome it? What are some things you guys are all afraid of or have fear of that you could overcome? They'll get this worksheet, and we'll write at least 2 or 3 sentences on what you're scared of and how you can overcome it like Fly Guy did. So then, once we get to the worksheet, what I'll do is, enter instructions to the worksheet, and then this will pop up on the board. So all the students will get a prompt. Together as a class, I'll show an example, and they'll have a prompt. I am afraid of blank, but I can overcome it by blank. This will help students that don't know really what to do to go forward have a starter to put something down. One example I'll give is, I fear the dark. I do not like the dark as I can't see in it. I use a lamp to overcome the dark at home. And the drawing portion, what I could do is draw a bed and me sleeping in it with a lamp taking away the dark. That's kind of an example they could take off and go from to give their own ideas and then make some of their versions of stuff they're afraid of and what they could draw. And then after that, I'll explain to the students again, 2 or 3 sentences is what they need, no less. And if they want to do more, they can, but kind of the goal is 2 or 3 sentences. And the drawing should be about how they can overcome the fear, and there should be some color. And then remind them they can always use the prompt if they're truly stuck. The differentiations for the project for any students with extra needs will be for ADHD, they can use fidget tools, or they can stand during instruction, or have a visual checklist to help them stay on task and allow breaks if necessary. Dyslexia, I'll have sentence starters. There'll be a little more if necessary, but this will be a good start, I believe. And then if necessary, they can type and use speech to text. And if even more necessary, they can use visual aids over just purely text if it's more of a reading issue. And then for an intellectual disability, they can have better gripped, like thick grip pencils or like the triangle mechanical pencils and coloring utensils. And then also allow just the drawing portion if necessary. And they can also use stickers for like the writing portion, or use a type and speech tool for the writing portion, whatever is necessary for them. The main goal of this assessment is to see if the students can comprehend a fear they can overcome, relating it to the book we just read, Fly Guy versus the Fly Swatter, and effectively write it out and draw it out. That is kind of the whole idea of my lesson plan. Thank you for listening.